Okay, so we are live, we are recording. So this culture exploration is, you're going to be looking at 3 different cultures that interest you. So a lot of you guys chose a culture for your research assignment that we had last week that I think is due here on Friday. But this is expanding on that. So some of you guys found some resources for like Mexican culture or Japanese. And we actually had quite a few people who did Japanese like between both of my classes for this. So that was interesting. But you're picking 3 different cultures that you do not belong to. So if you are Hawaiian, you cannot pick Hawaiian culture because you are part of that one. You are investigating ones that are new to you or more unknown. So since we're going to do the walkthrough with this, oh my gosh. Someone has done messed up my Word document since the last time I was in here. Oh gosh, where's my headings? Anyways, whatever. I'm not going to bother with it because it's going to take me like 45 minutes to fix it. Okay, so culture 1. Maybe I'm going to look at the Czech Republic because that's kind of like my standard example. Don't make fun of me for being old and not understanding technology, okay? I only ever use Google Docs. What's another culture? Third one. Okay. So when I do this, obviously, hopefully I'm going to use this as kind of a base for my ethnography to help me find what culture I specifically want to look at. So what are some things that I know about the Czech Republic culture that make this culture unique? So I know quite a bit about the culture of the Czech Republic. So for me, I can probably just think of these off the top of my head. But you could also just do, things unique to Czech Republic, or you can even insert culture there. Or unique Czech Republic tradition. Hey, look, 11 unique things about the Czech Republic. If it takes forever to load. So maybe I'm going to put name days, which maybe isn't unique specifically to the Czech Republic, but they do a lot with it. And then we're going to go with our standard Christmas carp in the bathtub. Because I don't know of anywhere else that does that. I don't know if I can spell bathtub correctly. Oh, also, if you are on campus, it will not let you access foreign websites or ones that are hosted outside the US for some reason, most of the time. So if it's like a .cz or whatever, it never lets me access it. So you guys might have the same problem.
So that research assignment, it's the same, it's like the same one I did for public speaking, typing, the same assignment.
Were you happy with your grade on the first one, that you would get the grade for both? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but you're not in that class this semester. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, so what components make that culture unique? So I could look up things, so what makes the Hawaiian culture unique? What makes Mexico culture unique? For Mexico, I could say Day of the Dead. Other cultures do have similar ones, like the Czech Republic does have a day similar to Day of the Dead on November 1st. But the way Mexico celebrates is unique in how big of a part of their culture it is. And then the most prolific or well-known things, so I could say well-known things about, and honestly, like Google is your best friend. So those are cool facts. What's the Czech Republic known for? Castle capital of the world. Products they're famous for: the Czech glass, Bohemian garnet, Budvar, beer. So we're the defenestration capital of the world, and defenestration is throwing people out of windows. It's happened so much there that they invented the word for it. But honestly, the Czech Republic is pretty much known for its beer. I mean, Germany as well, but if you ask some random person what they know about the Czech Republic, they'll probably say beer or Czechoslovakia. So I'm going to say probably the most prolific is beer. So why do we think this thing became well known? Well, I think it became well known because Budweiser tried to steal and copy the recipe and did it very crappily. Why did I choose this culture? So, you know, I chose the Czech Republic because, you know, I have friends over there, or I just find it interesting. Maybe I speak a little bit of the language. Maybe, you know, a distant ancestor was from there. Maybe you're just like, well, I literally couldn't think of anything else. So I threw a dart and it hit this country on the map. I mean, I'm sure I could find a really big map and some darts if that's what you guys wanted to do. But as long as you're not throwing the darts at your classmates. What do I find interesting about this particular culture or this country? I find it interesting that baby Jesus brings their presents instead of Santa Claus. So, and they celebrate Christmas on December 24th rather than the 25th. I find it interesting that, insert whatever here that I personally like about this culture. What do I like about the Hawaiian culture? I find it interesting about like the tattoo meanings, or if you're looking at Samoan culture, tattoos have like a lot of important meaning in Samoan culture, so I could talk about that. If I wanted to talk with people from this country or this cultural group, how would I go about it? So for me, I know someone in this cultural group. I'd say, you know, I would call my friend, talk to him, talk to his dad, talk to his brother, or I could say, you know, I can't spell today, guys, I'm sorry. So even if it's just like, I'm just gonna go on the internet and go to r/pen pals and say, hey, which one of you guys is from the Czech Republic and wants to talk with me for this assignment I have for class? Or if any of your friends have been on missions over places, you could say, hey, do you still have any friends over in that country who might be willing to talk with me? You know, you can ask your teammates, see who they know. Like it's a lot easier to get in contact with people than you may think. You just actually have to talk to people for that to happen. So. And we actually do have a lot of people from Hawaii here, so it'd be really easy to talk from Hawaii. But does this make sense? Is this pretty straightforward? Okay, so if we go on to the Hawaiian, so what is unique about Hawaii culture? Okay, so we're gonna, hey, I've cited this website before because I remember that. Okay, so let's pick this website or whatever. Hawaii Culture Overview. Oh, I was about to, this website's a flashback from 2008. So maybe if I want to cite this, there's even a related one on Hawaiian tattoos. So let's say we're going to use this. if Hawaii is the culture we end up picking, I'm not saying you have to, because you do not have to for this assignment, but it might be helpful to kind of start your references if you're saying, okay, well, yes, I'm looking at 3 different ones, but I know I'm going to pick Hawaiian culture. So I'm going to start my references already. Oh my gosh, nope. So our title of this article, there was no author. So we're doing Hawaiian culture. Was there a date on it? Nope. So we would say no date. Is this, are we sharing? Okay, yeah, I'm sharing the whole screen. I did that last time that I was not sharing everything. And so all the people on Zoom were like, oh, we have no idea what's going on. And this website is To Hawaii. Yeah, so there's not much more information on that. So Hawaii, and then retrieved from this link. And then there's my reference for this source if I use it for my paper. So then I know, okay, if I'm talking about the flower lays, and it's from this website, then, so I would say this is, oof. So then I already have one of my citations done. But like I said, this is not required. This just might be helpful for you if you're already researching and looking into cultures to go ahead and start this to save yourself some labor later. That's why we're doing this like, week 3, and you're probably like, the paper's not due until week 15. The more we can spread it out, that means the less labor you have to do all at once, which means the less stress you will hopefully be under. Okay, so what else? So what's the most well-known aspect of Hawaiian culture? Maybe that is the lei, or maybe it's actually probably the hula dance, because most people know that. Why it became well-known? Well, because dancing is pretty, it's cool, like it's very aesthetically pleasing to watch, but that's kind of like your personal opinion on why you think it became well-known. And then why did you personally choose Hawaiian culture? Maybe you just have access to a lot of Hawaiians. Like if you're on the softball team, there's a lot of girls from Hawaii on the softball team. So it's like, well, you could just put easy access to the culture. But then what do you find interesting about it and why? And then if you'd want to talk to people, who could you talk to? I'm trying to think who we have in this class that, yeah. So maybe we'd talk to Zai. And, trying to think who else do I have in my classes that's from Hawaii. I think I have Susie in my class, but I don't know her last name. But, I talk to, maybe these people. Or I would say, hey, can I see who Zai's family is back there? And if any of her cousins or her siblings or whatever are willing to talk to me. So, makes sense? Do you guys think you are good on it? I know when you first look at it, it seemed kind of like a lot because there are like 3 different parts to it. You got to choose 3 different cultures, but now that we've walked through it, seems okay. So, Abby, what 3 cultures do you think you're going to investigate?
I'm going to do St. Lucian culture. I'm going to do... That's all I got.
And one thing that I do ask, like I'm going to ask everyone, and I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's names yet. The masks kind of throw me off. But I'm going to ask that we try to have as few duplicate cultures as possible. That's not to say you guys both can't do Hawaiian, or, you know, 2 or 3 people can't do, you know, Mexican culture or whatever. It's just I don't want 10 people doing Japan, because I have to read like 60 of these papers, and if I have to read Japan 20 times, like, please have mercy on me. Okay, so okay, so what else?
We can do the St. Lucian, New Zealand, and Africa.
Okay, and do you know Regan?
What?
Do you know Regan? Oh, she's from New Zealand.
Oh.
Is Regan on campus?
She'll be here this weekend.
Okay, so Regan will be here this weekend. So if you wanted to do New Zealand, then that could be someone who you could talk to and say, okay, well, can you maybe point me in the right direction?
Definitely Dominican Republic. That's probably the one I'll like actually do.
Because
And then,
was it your boyfriend who did his? No, I'm trying to think if someone else.
no, but I'm going there this fall to teach English. So
Okay,
maybe I'll do Japanese and like Colombian.
so if you're going somewhere, that might be a good place to like do your ethnography over, so you can learn more about them, so you don't make any like random faux pas.
Yeah.
Actually, I could take attendance while I do this, actually. Okay,
Probably African, Brazil, and Spain.
okay, and Africa's a very big continent, so any particular country?
Senegal,
Senegal, okay, and what's your name?
Payton.
Peyton, okay. Just want to make sure that I get everybody in. Okay,
I'll be probably doing Hawaiian culture, Thailand, and Japan.
okay, so Hawaii, Thailand, Japan, and your name?
Name.
Nanya. Okay.
I do Hawaiian, like Irish culture, and then Mexican,
So Hawaii, Irish, Mexican. Brent?
Mexican culture, Irish, Russian.
You realize like 2/3 of your guys' that are the same, right?
Mine's already uploaded.
Fair. Fair enough. Okay. So, Demi?
Probably New Zealand, Japan, and Mexico.
So New Zealand, Japan, Mexican. Okay. Sage? No idea yet? Okay, respectable. Hopefully you can get some ideas from some other people. Okay. Bryce?
I want to study the Creole culture in Louisiana, African, and I don't know another one.
So like Louisiana Creole, maybe another, and once again, Africa is a big continent. So any specific country?
Not really, not yet.
Okay. So, and you are Brianna, right? Okay.
I'm gonna do Hawaii, Iceland, and then Mexico.
So Hawaii, Iceland, Mexico. Iceland has like a really big like bodybuilding community for some reason, which is like not something you'd expect out of Iceland of all places, but that could be really interesting. And what's your name? Melissa. Okie doke.
Thai culture, Mexican, and Nigerian.
So Thai, Mexican, Nigerian. This could be interesting. So we just had Ramon pop in the chat. So CrossFitters, truck guys, and people who pronounce crayon as crayon. I think that you have to like read that to be able to see it. Crayon as crayon. As long as you can defend why those particular things are a culture, then you are welcome to do it. So since Ramon kind of brought that up, if you can convincingly defend why XYZ group is a culture, then have at it. But you have to be able to say how this meets, you know, a shared group of beliefs, values, all that jazz. I forgot my own definition of culture there for a second. But you just have to be able to explain how CrossFitters share a system of beliefs, values, morals, all that jazz. Honestly, CrossFitters would be hilarious to do because, anyways, that's how people find me funny.
Apache, Mexican, and Navajo.
Okay, so Apache, Mexico, or Navajo culture, and you are Kyler, okay?
Indonesian, Australian, and Bolivian.
Bolivia?
Yeah.
Okay, so Indonesia, Australia, Bolivia, and let me guess, but I'm probably going to get it wrong. Are you Elizabeth? Boom. Ha. Okay, so that's it for our people in class. So, Abriana, what are you thinking?
Probably the native, Japan, and then I don't know the third one.
Okay, so which native culture in particular?
I don't know yet.
Okay. So Amber, your thoughts?
I was gonna do Norway and then Brunswick, Germany, and Denmark.
Okay, so Norway, Germany, or Denmark. Ashlyn?
I was gonna do Scottish and Scotland, and then Canada and Mexican Mennonite,
Cool.
which is one that's not very popular at all, and so I don't think anyone else will be doing it.
But it'd be interesting to research and read, especially if not a lot of everyone in the class is doing it. Imani?
Can I do Japanese, Latino, and Hawaiian?
Yeah, but you might have to get slightly more specific with Latino because there's lots of countries in Latin America.
Okay, Mexican.
Okay. Javen?
I want to do like Peruvian, like South, like from the South, like but in America still,
Mm-hmm.
the southern states. And then my last one, Cuba.
Cuba, that would be fun. Josie?
I was gonna do Austria, Indonesia, and Jamaica.
Yeah, Austria, Indonesia, and Jamaica. Cool. Johan?
Can I do Germany, Brazil, and Spain?
Have at it.
Sweet.
Paul?
I am planning to do probably Japanese, Navajo, and Arab.
Cool. Who else? Ramon, were you serious about like the CrossFitters?
Maybe. I don't know. Also, maybe like safety culture. I know a lot of firemen and police. And then like get more specific in Japanese and go like weeb. I don't know.
Honestly, weeb culture would be hilarious. Do you guys know what that is? Like super Japanese anime nerds, like the weeaboo stuff. Okay, so like yeah, that would be kind of funny.
That might be part of my own demographic, so that might be a little too close to home. So
don't call me out like this, Ramon. Sabrina.
France, Denmark, and New Zealand.
France, Denmark, New Zealand. Tirza.
India, Greece, and Choctaw.
India, Greece, and Choctaw. This would be fun. And Zai?
I don't know what I want to do. Is that okay?
yeah, that's totally fine. We're just trying to get some ideas to see what you guys were thinking about. So no worries, no rush. I realized that I had like my screen recording all of your guys' like student ID numbers and stuff. I'm gonna have to edit this video before I post it, so I'm sorry. My bad. There we go. But yeah, seems like you guys have a lot of really good ideas. Like there's a variety, so it's not everyone who's like totally just like, oh yeah, we all want to do Japan. So that's nice. It'll give me like a wide variety of things to read. So appreciate it. But yeah, this will just give you a chance to kind of start looking, see what's actually interesting or not. So maybe you're really set on India and you're starting to look at it and you're like, actually, like Choctaw seems a little more interesting to me. So we're going to go with that one instead. So use this as a thing to kind of narrow down your focus. Because after this one, when we get into next week, so next week we will do our discussion from this week, our questions that are posted in your announcement. And next week will be pretty much all about the ethnography. So I think, I don't even know if you have readings for week 4. Oh, your readings for next week are just a couple of videos to watch that one's 20 minutes and one's 12. So those should be pretty quick, but then the rest of all next week is pretty much just ethnography preview, and then we have our test review on, I think your test is due the 14th, so I think we'll have test review on Friday the 12th. But the questions for review are already posted, so please, when we get on Zoom next Friday the 12th, be ready to answer questions and participate. So if I say, okay, Demi, what is culture? Demi can answer and say, you know, culture is a shared system of beliefs, values, and behaviors that is dynamic and heterogeneous. And if I say, okay, you know, Abby, how can context change how we behave? Abby can give me an example and say, you know, oh, well, I wouldn't tell the same story in class to, you know, the teacher as I would to, you know, my roommate or whatever, because context is different. It will be on, where's my quizzes? It will be on Canvas. It is 32 points and 13 questions. It's due on a Sunday night at midnight. So I mean, it's open now. You're welcome to take it early, but we're going to review in class on Friday the 12th. Like, I don't know. I think some of them are short answer. Yeah. Just getting all these questions wrong. Yeah, I think. I am going to get all the questions wrong. I'm an adult. I don't think there is a time limit. Yeah, I don't think there is a time limit. Yeah, no time limit. I mean, I wouldn't suggest you like leave it open for like 3 hours in case your computer crashes, but yeah, no time limit. Just 13 questions. I think there's 2 or 3 short answers. But for like all of my tests and stuff, you guys are welcome to use your notes and stuff. Like, yeah, just like we live in the 21st century. Like you will pretty much always have access to something. So I just ask that you don't just like copy and paste the question into Google, because that's like really, guys, come on. Okay, like I know y'all have done it because I've done it too. But just you're welcome to like use anything in Canvas or whatever. If you catch me, I've had students be like, cool, and they've been asking me questions about the test and I just been answering them and they're like, okay, I'm done with it. And I'm just like, they're like, well, you said use the resources at our disposal when you happen to be here. And I'm just like, that was tricky. But yeah, so you're welcome to use notes and stuff. Even for the midterm and final, welcome to use notes, I don't care. So, all right, well, if there are no more questions, comments, or concerns, I'm gonna stop the recording. And